This is truly a precarious situation where when a sensitive subject such as the reservation policy is being debated and discussed, the method of its presentation to the legislature is something that I am finding very difficult to decide whether, as a member of the Treasury bench, Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, I was just saying that today the legislature faces its big test, because as a legislature, sir, sitting in the Treasury bench, I am forced to decide whether I support a resolution from the Treasury bench or whether I should oppose it. This is the test. It's an acid test for all of us. Being one of the chosen 60 to debate, to discuss, to argue in the realm of the Legislative Assembly, it has become very difficult for me to toe a line, to go either or. However, this is an issue which is deserving of great merit for a debate and a discussion. However, I will have to follow procedures of the legislature and overtly, because of the system, should not set a bad precedence for generations to come. What we do today is going to set a pattern. And the pattern which is set in the realm of debate in the August House is directed by the Constitution. Hence, I reserve my ultimate decision on whether I should or should not support such a resolution being tabled by a member of the Treasury bench. Leaving the technical aspect of my debate, I too would like to lend some observations to this issue, which definitely is becoming a household debate. It has surpassed an armchair discussion, but it's actually being lividly understood in the streets and amongst the citizens of the state. So the first thing that we need to understand from the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, whom I presume will be replying to our queries, would be what were the circumstances that guided the leaders of 1972 to arrive at an office memorandum of this nature. In fact, sir, I myself has asked to this government, what is the basic genesis of a state reservation policy peculiar only to our state? So we cannot forget the fallout of the Mandal Commission. Then we were young kids going to secondary school, where this whole country blew up in flames, and there was panic, there was confusion, there was chaos across the length and breadth of this beautiful country called India. So I wish not to be emotional on such a sensitive matter. I wish not to stir any fire, any flame, any anger in any part of this beautiful state called Meghalaya. We cannot allow emotions to get the better of us, because at the end of the day, we are one state, we are 3 major tribes. But time has come, sir, for some clarity on this ambiguous nature of the application of the state reservation policy. I, for one, would like to know the genesis of this big dragon that is facing every young person on the streets of our city, of our state. It will be wrong for me to say it's only the Khasis that are feeling victimized. It is wrong to interpret. Surely, even the Jaintias, even the Garos will be equally fueled. But is that the assignment of every legislator to come to the floor of the house and sing to the gallery and incite this communal, this harmony? That is not what I would recommend. However, we need to find out whether this state reservation policy is valid. Does it have merit? Is it enshrined in any strong tenets that would allow it to face legal scrutiny? Will this be not a violation of somebody else's right? We need to figure that out. And yes, we are now mature as a state at 50 years to do the needful. In fact, we do not need a resolution of this nature. We need a consultation. We need a sharing of responsibility. We need a conscious decision to ensure that tomorrow there will be no burning and no display of anger in any part of the state. My appeal through you, Deputy Speaker, sir, is to send this loud message to the people of the state of Meghalaya that whilst we decide to review an archaic law or an archaic interpretation of law such as this, there should be peace, there should be calm, there should be understanding. Sir, it is true that there is ambiguity as to whether or not the architects of the state of Meghalaya intended to apply this reservation policy on several other categories of application. Is it true that academics was one of the concern at that point of time in the state of Meghalaya in 1972? Was there a disparity of educational opportunities in different parts of the state? Well, what was the basic thought that prompted our leaders to decide such? This is something that I would like the government to explain to me and the people of the state. I am sure, sir, that academics is beyond disparity of marks. Academics in this generation of the 21st century cannot be conditioned to marks that aren't equal. It is but practical. There are competitive examinations for all categories and classifications of higher and technical education. There is the NEET, there is the JEE, there is the CLAT. Which section of education does not have a meritorious approach? So, sir, I would like to understand all of this ambiguity that has for so long been kept on cold storage. It's as if people were afraid to talk about it. And I thank the Honourable Member from Shillong North for giving us this ample opportunity, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to also express our views. So therefore, Sir Speaker, I will refrain from saying I support this motion, because I am not supposed to say that. That is not what the legislature has conditioned me to say. But surely, Speaker Sir, it is time we sit, discuss this issue, clarify to the people, and ensure that all three tribes are given their own merit for decision taking. I know, Speaker Sir, that I will not be given more time, but another thing that is related to this, allow me another 1 minute. So there is a very precarious situation that has arisen in the state of Meghalaya, where even in seats where reserved categories would get an opportunity to get employment, gainful employment, we've seen that central government offices, central agencies, the NEHU, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs are now just lying vacant. Look at what's happening in Negrams. There is a great difficulty amongst nurses in Negrams, where one side is saying that you shall only promote if you have the years of service, but the others say, no, you don't need to be having years of service. You can get promoted directly if you fall under a certain category. I urge upon this government to also look at these vacancies in central organization agencies and departments. Why is it that none of the jobs are being re-advertised? Why is it that none of the jobs are now being called for application? Because all of this hides behind this draconic reservation policy that has become so dear to us, yet so difficult to decide. So with these few observations, I urge upon the government of Meghalaya to give us an opportunity, create some sort of a platform which has authority, create an opportunity for us to have better insight. Because if somebody was asking me on the streets, Speaker Sir, whether or not there is a violation of the state reservation policy, most of the time I say, I really don't know, because I belong to the modern set of generation of leaders. So with these few observations, sir, I urge upon you to urge this government to allow us a platform to take this up, to discuss this, and with these few observations, I am conditioned not to support this resolution, sir.